Hey guys, today I have another vet bring back, and it's a really cool find because this is a cased Luftwaffe drilling. Now, just last week I unboxed a Borchardt for you guys on camera, and I'm going to do the same thing with a Luftwaffe drilling. It's in the case. I'm going to take it out, talk about it, and show that to you. But before I do, if you remember, having just shown you this case Borchardt, since I put this out, I got a lot of comments about a couple of things that I said. By the way, I really appreciated your comments. They were very helpful. A couple things that consistently came through is I talked about the magazine. And remember, I showed you the inside of the magazine. I said, what the heck is it? Didn't make any sense. Those are two springs. Well, a couple of you commented, and thank you very much. There were 4, actually, and what's missing is the follower. So all the others, the other 3, have that follower. The spring is underneath there, and the follower is missing. So on the one that I showed you in the video, there is a follower missing. So that's correction number 1. Correction number 2, I got a lot of people who commented about the cleaning kit. I showed you how the cleaning kit, the rods are in here, and I said I mistakenly thought it went in here. And I got a lot of comments. It doesn't stay in, by the way, but I got a lot of comments that this is actually the hold open, and it is. This gun does not have a hold open, meaning when you pull the toggle back, it won't stay open. So if you're cleaning it and you put that in, that is the hold open. And it actually stays in there nice and tight because the pressure from the toggle holds it in place. So this is the hold open. What's interesting is the early Lugers, remember I said George Luger modified this design, but the early Lugers also do not have a hold open. It wasn't until I see modifications around 1910, 1911, they actually made a little cut in here and added a hold open. And then of course, through most of World War I and through the end of production, the Luger did have a hold open. But I just wanted to make those corrections, and thank you to those of you who commented. But this, everything on this thing, I mentioned how functional everything is. This does have a purpose as a hold open. Okay, now it's time to unpack a Luftwaffe drilling. I know a lot of you are excited. We actually already did a video about the Luftwaffe drilling, but that was quite a while ago, and you're due for a repeat. This is one that I got in from a collector. I'm actually just brokering a deal, which is the same thing I did with the Borchardt. We're taking it in, but we already had a prearranged sale on it. So I wanted to show it to you before it goes out the door. So this is the case. Now, the first thing I'll say about the case, this is an aluminum case, lightweight. The Luftwaffe drilling was also known as the M30, also known as a survival gun. These were made for Luftwaffe pilots that were shot down, and the theory would be that they could defend themselves but also shoot bird and game. There's a rifle in there. They could take down an elephant if they had to, if they were in Africa. I don't think North Africa has elephants. But all of that is to say that this was proposed as a survival weapon and would be in the cockpit of a plane. I always found that hard to believe because, you know, in modern day, a survival gun is as small and lightweight as possible. And most of them would be like higher caliber pistols where you could protect yourself. Having done more reading, I don't know that this was ever really used as a survival weapon. They did use them on the bases during downtimes, I think, for clay pigeon shooting, and that was helpful for shooting enemy aircraft just because you have to lead the clay pigeon, etc. But I also think that they were kind of a boondoggle. A boondoggle is something that you don't really need, but you spend the money because it's really cool. And this was kind of a boondoggle for, I think, military officers, particularly pilots. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it because I just don't think this makes sense as a survival weapon. But it's a really cool weapon, so let's unpack it right now. So this is the case, and I have to say, first and foremost, I mentioned it is aluminum case. This has been restored, meaning the paint was all coming off of it. It was sanded down and taken back to the original look. All of this is exactly the way it looked originally. There is a Luftwaffe proof mark right here, and they all do have that. I have seen cases that were more of a mustard color. Most of them, however, are this green color. They're marked in several places, including here. I think that's the company that made made the cases. But again, this has been restored, meaning it's been repainted. Maybe this leather was replaced, and I think this insulation or padding was replaced, because this often gets eaten by bugs and moths and things like that, and this is just in pristine condition. So first and foremost, let me let you know, this is just a beautiful case, works perfectly, everything fits in here just perfectly, but most likely a restoration. This is a list of everything that's included in the case, and so let's open it up. You can come look over my shoulder, we'll open it up and put it all together for you. Okay, now I'm going to pop these out and put them on my desk, but have you take a look at it. First and foremost, this is the stock. Absolutely beautiful. A few dings in it, but otherwise just kept in pristine condition. Now, this is probably the nicest I've ever handled. I've handled probably a half a dozen Luftwaffe drillings. That's the Luftwaffe Eagle, of course. And that was on the stocks of all of them. These were made by Sauer & Sons, by the way. There's also a Luftwaffe Eagle on the barrel. We'll take a look at that. Check out this case hardening. This is, I mentioned this is about as nice as I've ever seen. If you look at that case hardening, it definitely doesn't come any better than that. Just absolutely beautiful. There's a company logo here. There's some engraving you can see. Some engraving here, just mildly engraved. Not real ornamental, but definitely some engraving, and then the serial number would be right here. Now there's also a serial number here, ends in 118, and there is a proof mark, an Eagle N. We're going to find a date on this, by the way, but that's on the barrel. So there are, when I have it all together, I'll show you how to shoot it, but you do have two triggers. Next, I'm going to pull out the barrel, but you can see there's a trough that is made. This all fits together, and like I try not to shake it a whole lot, but you can shake this and it doesn't bang around a lot because the case is so well fitted. Look at that barrel, just absolutely beautiful. No real dents or bruises or wear to the finish. Here you can see the Luftwaffe proof. Now that happens to be upside down, but that's the same proof as you'll find on a Krieghoff Luger. Here you see the date, 1041. So this was made in October of 1941. Gives the caliber of the rifle. I should have started off by saying it's a drilling. It's actually pronounced in German, Dreiling, because eins, zwei, drei. Drei means three. So this is, we call it a drilling, and we would be wrong. That's we Americans. We would be wrong, and it would be Dreiling in German. The rifling in this is just about perfect. Let me show you a couple more features here. This will have a pop-up sight, which I'll show you when we put it together. And there is the second Luftwaffe Eagle. And it's a 12 gauge. On the rifle itself, you can see the caliber, which is 9.3 by 74. It's a strange caliber, at least for me, but maybe in Germany, not so strange. It actually, when we look back in the case, we can see they actually have some original ammo here. And I'll pull out a round. RWS, that was an ammo maker. I've actually seen that before with Walther ammunition, but there's the round itself. Pretty powerful round, and maybe for shooting an elephant down to survive in the jungle. I'm saying that facetiously. I'm not sure why you need a powerful rifle like that, but it certainly would take down any enemy. Maybe take down a bomber. The next crucial part of the gun itself would be the handguard. And again, mild engraving here, beautiful checkering. And when you put it together, this swivels. And we're going to put it together in just a little bit. Serial number also inside here. The serial number was on the barrel, it's on the stock, and then it's also right here. Here is the capture paper. I mentioned that this is a vet bringback, May of 45. Actually, right before the war ended. They usually were picked up, by the way, at Luftwaffe bases. So they had them stored at Luftwaffe bases. This is the person who brought it back, Jack, and I can't read the last name. One German shotgun, and there's the correct serial number. And it's signed by his captain, commanding officer. And that is Don White. I already showed you the ammo. That box is falling apart, so I don't want to handle it any more than I have to. And then here are some shotgun shells. I'm not sure if these are original or not. You know what? These are a slug. You really were looking to take down an elephant with this thing. But there's the brand. Maybe some of you, Heil. I know Heil. I can't say the word that comes after Heil. I'll be banned. But these may be original. Some of you can chime in on that. And again, it's not a full box, but there's 3 rounds inside this box. Next, we have the cleaning kit, and these are kind of unique. By the way, there's a cutout where everything fits perfectly. Much like the Borchardt, everything has its place, and it fits all snug. But there's the cleaning kit. That's what it looks like. This is the wooden dowels, maybe you would call it, but that's the wooden rod. And then you have the different brushes, some for the shotgun barrel, some for the rifle barrel, and then just a wad. And this also has the maker. This is the original wax paper with the maker. I thought it was RWS, but I could be wrong. Actually, inside here, I never opened that up before. There's the original oiler for oil, and there's the maker there. Mapox. Waffen oil. There you go, Waffen oil. I can speak German now. And it's wunderbar. And there's the, I've already mentioned, that's the original paper. And there, I was right. There, I knew I saw RWS, that's the maker, but that's for the ammunition. You can see munitions. So this is the paper for the ammunition. Just happens to wrap this up. And that is the cleaning kit with brushes. 2 other things. It does come with a sling, and that'll hook up. Maybe we'll get that on there, but there's the original sling. Oh, then there's a maker. Oh, guess who made it? I'm just discovering this for the first time. Very cool. That's an AK logo. AK, of course, are my favorite holsters. German holsters for Walther PPs and PPKs, but AK made this sling. And then finally, there is a manual for the Dreiling M30, and this was made in June of 41. Remember, our gun was made in October of 41, but there's the original manual, and of course, it would be in German. Hey, let's put this sucker together. So as cool as this looked when it was in the case, it's even cooler now. There is a little, I said this, I thought this barrel was pretty much perfect, but there is a little, not a nick, but a little bit of corrosion right there. I'm just pointing that out, full disclosure. Okay, so I mentioned the sight. And the way to pop that up is that you push this button down and up, and that pops up. Let's watch it again. You probably missed it. Keep your eye on here, and there it is. Keep your eye back here, and you can see all I'm doing is popping that up. Now, in order to cock it, right now, it's not cocked. Nothing happens when I pull the trigger. When I push the lever to the right, this pops up. This is stiff, by the way. I put this together off camera because the tolerances are really, really tight. Sometimes I struggle to get it together, but actually this popped together really quickly, and that was because Randy helped me. Okay, so we push the lever, it cocks the shotgun, you load it, you put in your bullet. So I've got three rounds in here, 2 12 gauge and 1 rifle round. Close it up. You see these 2 buttons here. When I pull the trigger, this button will pop down. And then I pull the second trigger, and that button went down. Let me do that again. Cock it, pull the trigger once, pull the rear trigger, pops down. Now pulling the trigger doesn't do anything, so how do I fire the rifle? That's the beauty of this design. All I do is pop this up, pop it up, it's ready for rifle, pull the trigger, and the rifle shoots. So, it's just, the engineering on this is just incredible. And these things, I mean, in today's dollars, making these for the military would cost thousands of dollars. to make a quality. I mean, just look at the craftsmanship and the workmanship on this. It would cost thousands of dollars, and that's why I don't believe they were ever intended to be a survival weapon. I think, like I said, it was not a bribe, but as a reward. Everybody, all the fighter pilots got these beautiful drillings, and of course, when the Americans came on the base, they confiscated them. I think that's a euphemism, but they did confiscate them. All right, back to this. I just have to show you one more time. Just very cool. We'll close it up. Fire 1, fire 2, pop up the sight, fire 3. Very cool drilling. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that little time capsule. For me, it was like going back in history and just going over. This came over to the United States in May of '45. I'm sure GIs brought these back as souvenirs, and this is a great find. I want to remind you as well that this is not for sale. It's already spoken for. If I ever kept a drilling, this would be it. This is probably the finest one I've ever seen. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and send this to a friend. Not the gun, the video.